spiritual leader, big, fat, juicy, lots of zeros bonus check. Other congregations would give their beloved refuse, and all expenses paid, also trip to somewhere, like biblical, with camels and sea squirrels and things like that. But no, not tonight. Still others might splurge on a fancy steak restaurant. Well, he's going to get a roast all right. I want you to think of this service as a service. I want you to think of this as a service. But instead of Shema, we're going to say why he's a Shema. Instead of a sermon, we'll be spared. And instead of leaving inspired, you will leave asking how the hell Rabbi Jamie still has a job. I'm Ron Solomon. I'm your roast master for tonight. For those of you who don't know me, you're better off. Trust me. For those of you that do know me, well, too late. So apparently I volunteered to be the roast master. I honestly don't remember, but not remembering is probably something I do best. And so here I am. And for those of you who are here, I hope that you've got a nice little buzz going, because that'll make it all funnier, maybe even funny. If you're not feeling that loose yet, I want you to take a shot every time you hear me, boy, or I got a hip replacement. For those of you on Zoom, the pandemic is over. You can come out now. Get a vaccine and a vodka, you'll be fine. You can wear your mask, we don't care. All right, so here's how tonight's going to go. In a second, I'll bring up tonight's roasters. They were chosen at random because nobody else wanted to do it. Each of these fine and funny fellow congregants will have a few minutes to rip apart and speak about our honored guest. After which he will have a few minutes to get even and funky and fun. Okay, so let's give it up now for our fellow rabbi roasters in no particular order. Joanne Greenberg. Susie Speer. Rubin. Tami Kleban. Marilyn Saltzman. And the Miss Gala, the third Hess. And lots of goodwill figure. I'll be honest with you, man. When Susie asked me to be the roast master and Rabbi Jamie first roasted, that's it. Not because I'm above insulting people I love, that's actually kind of a hobby. It's me explain why I don't love many people that love me. Don't judge me, I may be an asshole, but I'm a good person. But the reason I was kind of hesitant was because of who we're roasting, which brings me to the main man, our fearless leader, our Musar master, our mensch warmer, our groovy guru, Rabbi Jamie. By the way, this is not the first time he's being roasted. It's not the first time he's being roasted, but it is the first time since the 7th grade when he was roasted for having big ears that stuck out and predicted to be the future president of Arnold Earlines. True story, he told me never done it. Okay. So our first roaster of the evening is Joanne Greenberg. She's first because you never know how long she'll. Hey, I'm going to say permission. I asked her
He's never been a critic for how the people pray. He'll smile and hold his silence until he gets his way. Ways are ecumenical. You reach each secular door. Evangelist or atheist, the straight, the gay, the boy, and every form of piety, as far as you can see. If not Shalom Aleichem, it's Oda Ijimi. If rabbiing no longer works, the blessing or the curse. It's chauffeuring the zip line, the cycle or the hearse. If driving any one of these, he seems to be enthused. All of us are hoping he doesn't get confused. So give 2 cheers for Jamie. May Hashem give him strength to fight the now advancing years in health as well as length, to guide our congregation with never doubt nor fear, until we teach him Yiddish. I want him staying here.
It's my formal check. Come off. Next is Sarah Hess. She'll tell you that she's never been much of an athlete. Coke bottle glasses, motion sickness on swings, not a great combo. Instead, she's buried herself in books through her PhD and somehow ended up in disaster cleanup after Hurricane Katrina. No joke. Which, let's be honest, was perfect training for working at CBE. She started as facilities manager, now she's director of operations. She's responsible for this fantastic dance floor. Thank you. She keeps this place running on duct tape and pure determination because there ain't no cash. She's overqualified, underfunded, and unstoppable.
Okay, I wish that more of you would come out to softball games. We might win more than once a season, but more importantly, watching Rabbi Jamie play is hilarious. He is the most enthusiastic softball player I've ever seen in a coat and beer league. The guy swings like a heavyweight ballerina. Full pirouette no matter what's coming at him. You know how when he sings and he goes to that guttural hallelujah feel? It's like that, with all the air in his lungs, exiting out into a single point of contact. I mean, the man will reach you from the deep. His voice will get up inside you and make you feel a thing, and for that, I'll give a hallelujah. But at bat, it's all swinging, pretty much a lot misses. To be fair, he hits from time to time, but the slugger attitude is consistent. RJ always comes out swinging. Like, if you ask him a hard question, he'll slowly take off his glasses, hold them by the arm, and swing them around a little bit. And if he needs to edit himself further, he puts the tip in his mouth for a minute. But if he takes them out and licks his lips, he's trying to come up with something really funny to say. Then twirl, 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 and if he's lucky, he comes out with a banger. Always, always, he hits for the outfield. All this pausing and considering is very rabbinical. And I guess it's rabbinical to put his full weight into things, whether it's swinging the bat or delivering a sermon, he's always driving his point home. He likes full plates too. If scheduling were entirely up to him rather than Elizabeth managing his calendar, he would book 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 2 days a week and spend the rest of the time on Waldo or whatever. If the bases are loaded and the pressure is on, he is at his best, telling everyone what to do and swinging away. The best part of Jamie on the field is his rules. Rabbi Jamie actually somersaults at every game. You have got to come and see Borchenko for a grounder every time he finds a way to roll his whole body into the field.
glasses to put them in my mouth. Before they come back, girl.
So much for rabbis being good teachers, huh? So, the next speaker, Marilyn Saltzman, is short. That's it. She's short, but she is mighty. Right? She spent 20 years as the communications manager for the ethno schools, including during Columbine, which means she's got nerves of steel and the patience of a saint. She's a master conflict resolver, always smiling, always calm. But that smile never goes away. I'm a New Yorker, and that's kind of creepy. We even do Musa together, and kind of creepy. What's behind it behind? And of course, she's also a past president of CBE, because apparently the only requirement to be up here tonight is that you have to have run this place into the ground at least once. That's all.
I am short, so I understand. When I was in Hebrew school in second grade and in kindergarten, the Hebrew school teacher said, "Stand up when you answer me." I said, "I am." Good evening, everyone. When Ron asked me to be part of this post, I immediately said yes, because I so admire and respect and love and value Ron and Rabbi Jamie. Of course, nobody has ever accused me of being a good judge of character. The heat was on. I wanted to make a well-done roast because our rabbi is so rare. He is clearly not my father's rabbi, that unreachable, unrelatable, bent old guy about a football field away on a raised bema who could not carry a tune. Our rabbi can sing L'chal Dodi to Barb Marley's lively up yourself. Now, of course, my roots are conservative, so I am a little nervous sometimes. My Jewish guilt comes in, and when he's doing Aleinu to the Grateful Dead, I wonder if the Grateful Dead song, "I'm Going to Hell in a Bucket." I have been a long time, over a decade, student of Musar with Rabbi Jamie, so I can't help but think about all the midot that he exhibits on a daily basis, and how his actions help inform my practice. I have always been in awe of the rabbi's faith. For those Musar counting, that's 2 midot in one sentence. For example, he has the faith that no matter how many things he schedules in a day, he can get to all of them on his own. Let me give you a recent example. It was a Friday, that's important, Friday afternoon. He had lunch with some of his congregants in Bergen Park, then went down the hill to central Denver to pick up Waldo, and planned to be back for a mezuzah hanging in Conifer at 2:30. It was a Friday afternoon in the summer, going up to the mountains. The sea of red taillights did not part, even for a rabbi on a motorcycle. knows our secrets. Good things he takes the guarded speech and silence seriously. To summarize, Rabbi Jamie is a man of immense wisdom, deep compassion, and a truly terrible response time to email. But in all seriousness, Rabbi, your guidance, your teachings, Musar, your music, even your predictable late arrivals have shaped us who we are as a community. You have guided us through joy and sorrow, and for your 2 decades of unwavering dedication and for the profound difference you have made in my life and so many others, we express the midah of gratitude. Thank you, and also
Well, sure I hit send.
I can attest to Rabbi Jamie's faith. Sure, we're going into the football season and he thinks the Bills are going to win. The next roast up is Susie Speer. Susie didn't know what order I was doing. Susie's done everything in CBD. She's been the president, she's been the vice president. Basically, she's been a committee member, a teacher. Basically, she's been running this place since she moved here in 2004. But she's most famous for her laugh. You can hear it all the way down Evergreen Marble. It breaks car headlights. It's a true marvel. This is the 3rd pair of glasses I've got today. Outside of here, she is a registered dietitian, which explains why she spent 20 years trying to feed me kale. Kale! It's not a food, it's a punishment. Who massages their food, really? Another past president, another survivor.
Ron said had fun with this, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Can you get some vodka for Susie?
Oh, man. As some of you know, I was Rabbi Jamie's first.
It's coming.
Kind and gentle, a great conversationalist, and certainly had more experience than I. We would start our rendezvous with friendly banter, getting to know each other. Maybe over coffee or breakfast. He had this way of making me feel special, that what I had to say was the most important thing he had to talk about that day. Now get your mind out of the gutter, people. We're talking about me being the first floor president when Rabbi Jamie started his tenure at CPE. We grew up together, didn't we? Those first few months of Rabbi Jamie's tenure were pure bliss. There were meetings on the hiking trail. We filled our heads with all kinds of cool Jewish history and culture. In those days, sermons lasted 20 minutes, not 45-minute TED Talks with no slides or logical endings. Sorry. And how about learning Musar traits from Rabbi Jamie? Has anyone in this room not learned about Musar from this guy? He's the Musar scholar, and he's exemplary of so many Musar soul traits, like patience. Oh wait, good thing he taught us patience, because we're the ones who sit through 3-hour high holiday services. And so once the new rabbi honeymoon was over, there were new rules. So here we go, Rabbi Jamie's reconstructed rules for synagogue life, Musar style. Rule number 10. Curious smile that radiates kindness. No one will ever know which congregant I think is the craziest that day. and add a reference to the Talmud. Rule number 5, be a responsible leader and be sure to have a plan, and then change it halfway through without telling anyone else. Rule number 4, always speak the truth, and then add in a good long story so people forget what the question was. Rule number 3, when something great happens, always give credit to the team, and then remind them whose idea it was in the first place. Rule number 2, be grateful for the little things like the clock on the wall in the sanctuary. Just forget to use it during services or sermons. And rule number 1, lead with a kind heart and compassion so that I can get away with all this stuff and they still love me. We're so happy to have you as our spiritual guide in life. Now receive.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, hi. Our next roaster, just want to move this along, folks. Our next roaster rounds out the President's Club. This is a roast support group, okay? Alan's done everything at CBE. He sang in the choir, he started countless chord trios, he helped run the youth group, and yeah, as I said, he's the past president. He's put in his hours, it shows. Actually, not very good at most of this shit. If Alan remembers a line, it's a miracle. Okay. The singing, the choir has learned to sing just a little louder to cover him up. And the puns, relentless. Right? All right? Relentless. Honestly, I think he's got a condition. This guy is unstoppable. And that's why I can't imagine CBE without him. Alan. There's a clock on it.
I assume followed like Rabbi Jamie. All I can say is, oh boy. First of all, I want to acknowledge this very powerful group of people today. Without them, a lot of things would never have happened. And so I would like to be distinguished, or is it extinguished? Recognition, so would you join me? I memorized a lot. And Joanne, is that good? All right, ready?
Yep.
Ladies, gentlemen, friends, congregants, survivors of last year's high holiday sermon, Buffalo. I've come here to lovingly roast the one, the only, Rabbi Jamie. And let's be honest, he's given me plenty of material. Now, most of his roasting this evening are past presidents. Believe me when I say that one of the best titles you could possibly have is past. When I was president, the rabbi and I would share breakfast regularly to discuss congregational business. I was not his source. But the intimidating thing for me was to resist ordering bacon at breakfast. Now, I can tell you that working with Rabbi Jamie can be exhausting, especially when it comes to following find a cheat sheet. Make that a cheat half sheet at the door. Now, his sermons are that complex. I think one year was the journey of the soul. Another year, the inner wilderness. Last year, I think it was Teshuva and the quantum realm. Now, I'm not saying it was deep, but halfway through, I started Googling whether repentance could bend space. But Jamie's sermons are more than intertwined. They are interactive. The last rhetorical question, pause, meditate, and then stare at you like you were supposed to answer. I once made eye contact and accidentally got volunteered to lead a meditation service. Now, for me and Sherry, one of the brightest spots at CBE is music, and without a doubt, Rabbi Jamie is a talented musician and incredibly creative musician. So when it comes to our mostly music services, Jamie doesn't just lead services, he curates them. Forget traditional liturgy. Friday night with Jamie is like Shabbat at Woodstock. We've sung John Denver's Country Roads as a metaphor for returning to God. We've sung James Taylor's You Got a Friend, and it became a prayer for community. Then Morrison's Into the Mystic, that was the Amida, I think. And don't get me started on the time we sang Bob Marley's One Love, and someone tried to light a hot dollar candle in the shape of a peace sign. Now, I want to also add a bit of inside liturgy for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to sing with us. What you don't know is that rehearsals for these services are, let's just say, unpredictable. Right, Tim? Right. They are less practice makes perfect and more, Jamie's gonna change the arrangement again. One rehearsal is in G major, the next is in C minor, and by Friday night, surprise, we're doing it as interpretive dance. No warning, no notes. Bye. And yet, through all the key changes, the chaos, the musical detours, the four-part sermon arcs, Rabbi Jamie brings something magical. He's the only person who can quote Leviticus, Bob Dylan, and Brene Brown in the same breath, and somehow make it feel like joy. We tease him because we love him, because he's ours. Because even when he changes the arrangement again, we know it's coming from a place of deep care, creativity, and a desire to make every moment meaningful. Even if it is in the key of, what just happened? So, here's to Rabbi Jamie, our spiritual leader, our rehearsal renegade, and the only person who can turn a Shabbat service into a Spotify playlist.
Ellen wants bugs.
I mean, approval. And by the way, Susie wasn't saying you should eat kale. She said you should go to kale.
Let's say Tourette's. He can't control himself.
It's kind of like
Doesn't even know it's coming. He looks at you with this helpless go like, what did I do? All right, where are we here? Next one, last roaster, official roaster, is Tami Kleban. Tami grew up a Valley girl with like dreams of show business until she lost her front teeth and looked like Dracula's daughter. Hollywood said no thanks, so she obviously turned to accounting. After moving to Evergreen in 2002, she started her own bookkeeping business, and CBE was her first client. 23 years later, she's still one keeping our books straight, which is no small miracle, right? Especially with that guy. She's taught Hebrew, played on the CBE softball team, and most recently she channeled her inner Lucille Ball in the Purim spiel.
Jamie filled in for them. He was a pinch pitcher against our own team. And he struck us all out. What the heck, Rabbi Jamie? Sit back, relax. Hey, have some Cracker Jacks, buddy boy. Ooh, I love singing the seventh inning stretch. I also love singing in the choir. But geez, as some other people have said, the rabbi, why do you keep changing the lyrics and the music a la Jamie's version on the fly without telling us? Just when we're feeling comfortable with a song and starting to sound almost like a semi-amateur choir, there he goes again. Bam! He changes it. Oh, boy. We all just side eye each other, give a little nod of encouragement and support. We know what's going on. It's the Rabbi Jamie Show, and we're just a peanut gallery. Smile, curtsy, stage left. On that note of the stage. This year, I had the honor of starring in the Pornspiel. I love Esther. We spent hours rehearsing, learning our lines, working on our timing and choreography. Well, most of us anyways. I guess when you're a little rabbi, you don't have to. He was that guy, sauntering in, maybe one in every 4 rehearsals. Maybe he learned his lines. Probably not. Certainly tripping over his feet, doing Jamie's version of the choreography. I guess being a rabbi has certain privileges. Maybe it's in his contract. Jamie, just once, please learn all your lines and say them as they're intended. Repeat after me. Do not improvise Ron's writing. Okay, well, rubbing up now. Let's talk about Waldo. Rabbi Jamie's beloved little scooter. Motorcycle. Why does our rabbi have such an affinity for this? Rabbi Jamie is like Batman. By day, our Zen, trained in the Himalayas, Jubu, is mild-mannered. But every 4th week, he transforms. He puts on those leather chaps, jacket, helmet, and he straddles that Waldo. And then he disappears. Why is he trying to escape from CPE? He goes far away, hiding in the Colorado wilderness, taunting us on Facebook to guess where he's at. Where's Weirdo? And here we are 20 years later. You've heard of Eat and Run? Well, this is Rabbi Jamie's version, Gala and Sabbatical. We celebrate you, Rabbi, here at CPE, in the land of elk and honey. Hop on Waldo and ride off into the sunset for your sabbatical. Geez, I hope I remember to pay you.
Maybe you should go back to Hollywood. My turn. So, how do you roast a rabbi? First thing that comes to mind is not kosher spit, but kosher salt. Second thing that comes to mind is, no, that's an Rubin joke, so don't use it. The third thing that comes to mind is, wait, this guy's a rabbi. A top dog. Text emojis with the Lord. What if I draw extremely non-religious Jew that I am, I wanted to drop him off in the desert with a knife and a quarter and tell him if he made it home, he was a man. I would have figured out the problem with the police later, but that was the plan. It was a surprise, surprise, Irish one. So to CBE we go. I tried everything I could to get Jamie to tell me to get home. Okay? I don't believe in religion. Religion is the bane of mankind. Religion caused all the wars. He just sat and nodded. Completely understood. Okay, so he's patient and he's open-minded. Good traits for a rabbi, but I wasn't done. I don't like synagogues. They're not spiritual. Nothing spiritual about a building, even if the fucking baby fawns are standing outside. I thought I could get through the night without saying that. You don't know me. It's been a rough one. I've been struggling. There's nothing spiritual about a building. Jamie nodded and said he agreed. All right, so he's manipulative. Another good trait for a rabbi, right? Lastly, we want Ethan to get bar mitzvah at Red Box. You only need to bring the only Torah you have to an outdoor venue where at any given moment it can hail and send golf ball-sized shards of ice through the scroll. Holy scroll. And then you do this for a complete stranger. Can do? Why not? He says. Red Rocks is very spiritual. Okay, inclusive, understanding, kind, a bit of a risk taker, and a bit weird. That's my kind of rabbi. So we're in. The bar mitzvah was a great success. Beautiful, spiritual. But then I realized he had an ulterior motive. There was a widespread panic concert that night. They needed to have tickets. So after the ceremony, he hid out in the men's room until it started. It was a big time.
Maybe for Cat Low.
Okay, he loves music, and that's another great trait for a rap. Which is exactly why I wrote the song, but I think that we're going long, so we're going to move on.
You guys want the song?
Stop.
Here we go.
All right, my guitar's going to be perfectly out of tune just to bug you. I will apologize in advance to all of the deadheads, because I'm not a deadhead, but this is to a Cody? Thank you. Hi, Rubin. He does it all, this now. So really, Alan, Sherry, almost done. And now it's his turn to roast us all back. Give it up for the man in the hour, the man in the middle.
Sermon's going to be longer. Tell you that much. And more complicated. We'll start with you, Alan. Alan was one of the folks on the search committee. And Jesse, and who else is? Jesse, yeah. And Joanne Greenberg. Shama, of course. So Alan's job on the search committee apparently was to tell the rabbis who applied that they didn't get the job. And one of the first conversations I really remember with Alan was calling him and saying, sorry to tell you, but we decided to hire somebody else. I called him back at my wife's insistence, and I said, is it like a contract signed? Are you sure? And he said, no, but it's 99% done. Well, we can thank Alan for being wrong. 99%. Alan, I love you, and you put the pun back in punishment. Sarah, I just want to say, this will be brief, how impressed I am with you, and how you managed to sit in one place for this entire time. I had lunch with the founder of Congregation Beth Evergreen, Bernie Goldman, and the first thing he said to me was, I'm sure you've heard the story of Congregation Beth Evergreen from Joanne Greenberg, but she is a novelist. So I'm going to tell you the real story. Well, I sent my oldest son to tutor with you.
That's right.
For his bar mitzvah. It was a big act of trust. And he didn't learn any Torah, he didn't learn any of the prayers, but he knew Greek and Latin. Joanne, thank you for your existence. Where's John? There he is, in my seat. John is, as he knows, Spielmeister extraordinaire, who makes toys and writes novels about deep states of invasion and privacy, and runs successful businesses and belts out Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and Joe Crocker is the best one, and doesn't believe in God or free will, so you know that what I'm about to say, I had no choice. I have on good authority that God doesn't believe in you either. Marilyn, how many non-profit boards have you been on? Can't count. Certainly not on hands and toes. How many non-profit boards have you been president of? Yeah, I know. A lot, right? And how long did you serve as the CBE adult head chair? Almost this whole 20 years. And served as president, and unlike Ron here, when you finally learned that God believed in you, you can take that to heart and retire from all the non-for-profit work you do and everything you do, just not from being a friend. Hi, Susie. Give it up for Susie Speer. Decades now. Can't say the same for all the homes you ditched. How many moves have you done in the last 20 years?
How about the last one?
Well, we're all glad that you have made Beth Evergreen your home, your lasting home, and steered this ship and this event, and we deeply thankful. Amy, I'm still waiting on the spreadsheet. You must have sent it via email. I feel like I should roast my parents now. Truly, thank you all for being here. This has really been a wonderful tribute, and I'm deeply humbled and so very grateful to be part of this family, this community, and here's to